see me, but now you can. There we go. All right, so check it out. It is a winning Wednesday. If you're out there in the X spaces listening to me there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. If you're out here on the live watching it right now with the feed, hello, how are you? Welcome to the winning Wednesday. I see you playing it, Binks. What's up, John? So y'all can join in anywhere you want to join in. Right now, as I was going to get set up, it's like, man, what do I play? What do I talk about? What do I do? As we get these things going, right, and on the move. But we're gonna get us set up here. I need to still go right over here. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna get one more thing set up here. But as I do that, because I mean, if you haven't heard of the mob, if you've never heard of the mob, I don't know where you've been. But this guy right here, God Cloud, and I hope they don't get mad that I'm putting them out like this and showing their videos, their YouTube videos to everybody. But they did this thing right here in front of the Spotify building. So I'm going to play that as I get set up over here. If you can't music about 2025 is coming at you hard. Follow the leaders of the mob like Violetta, Cristiano. Happy birthday, Cristiano. Happy late birthday, Cristiano. Get it. Yeah, so the mob was going on. Went out there in Miami. There'll be more mobs going out. What's up out there in the metaverse? You're tuning in, watch the whole thing, but that's God Cloud right there. Let me get to his face though. It's kind of messed up. Bam. I'll at least pause it on his face right there. So you got God Cloud. Go check it out. They're cool people. So what's up, everybody? We are now getting more set up here, and that was God Cloud with a little bit of the opener there. Out there on YouTube, you can follow the channel. It's just God Cloud, just like you say, God Cloud. Okay, the real God Cloud everywhere else. They've got tattooed all up and down their arms. You can't miss them. It's the God Cloud. So, what is happening around the world inside of the craziness that's happening, right? You got CES is right now, right? And the Consumer Electronics Show, right? And it's crazy. You had NVIDIA, the announcements that NVIDIA has made just in the last couple of days. It's just crazy. I mean, they opened up the stages with those robots like rising up out of the ground, They made all the announcements about their new chips. They got this like little computer thing, like it's like this big, this little board thing that you can put inside this like 200 billion whatever, and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And the chips are getting amazing. The computers are getting fantastic. All the hardware is finally catching up with the stuff that we really want to be doing. But I want to pull you over to let me open this up right here. Let me show you this. But the big news on the blockchain this week, the big news for the blockchain this week is right here with HyperFi. What? What? Where did you come from? How did this happen? So, I mean, we know that they've been building and doing things. There's been people like Third Planet Studios been over there. The Whip has been doing all their stuff weekly inside of HyperFi for the last while, right? So if you weren't buying lands, and you could, if you weren't buying lands and spots and you could have, I mean, that's on you. Like that's on anybody else. That's on you. But they just did this thing. They airdropped all of their landowners and space holders, whatever the pot holders, whatever it's called. They changed people's lives for real. And they're still going, and it's so crazy because like financially they change people's lives. They're one of the first communities to like actually go act like and do something like in this kind of extreme way. I'm speechless, and I'm just almost dumbfounded what they did. But beyond that, that's not even the cool part. Like that's the attention grabbing part. right? That's the part that a lot of people are just going. But let me just show you this tweet that Ash put out at 12 around 12:30 this morning. Just finished getting AI 16Z DAO Eliza agents connecting into hyperfi worlds. I have a couple things I want to improve and then unleash them. Need to eat food first. So there's already AI agents active, okay, inside here. Which that's just that. But look at this. Just look at it. That's from June last year. But so the agents can now interact with the world around them, working with some peeps to pull together a space with a couple of Eliza agents so they can chill together. One of the issues with doing this in V1 is navigation. V2 is easier to have roaming agents, so we'll have to push that back until V2. But oh my God, this is still pretty cool. There's agents running around in V1 and V2. This is stupid. This is just crazy. They're here, right? And they're working. So Hyperfi, shout out to you and what you did in the real and the raw of everything. And if you're interested in getting to know more about this kind of stuff, getting into those, by all means, tap in right here with Third Planet Studio tonight with the Real God Cloud and Binks inside the Token Smart. Because guess what? Guess where you could have gotten all this knowledge from day one? Right there inside the Token Smart community. You got the Whip, you got the Token Smart, you got the Binks, you got the God Cloud, you got Easy's Corner every Monday. So go tap in with them. They're right there. That is tonight, though. That is tonight. You can share it. You can tap that link. It's I hope you're watching the live. The live is where you're going to get to see a lot of this stuff that we're talking about right now, right? So, but we're moving on. Our winning Wednesday so far, just the people, just this week. Like, I mean, it's a winning stinking Wednesday because I feel like we've grown together as communities across the board, right? Let me show you this one other thing. We're gonna go look up Kane Mayfield here. Actually, you know what? But let's go. Let me pull this. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let's go with Blockamoto here. All right. So if you've never heard of Blockamoto created bitmaps, right? One of the founders of the bitmap, one of the original GitHubbers, right? But even more. Introducing the Ides of March, our Bitcoin music drop has been a long time in the making, longer than Bitmap. Check that out. Prepare yourself. Inscribe.audio. We're going to go check that out in a minute, but first we're going to start here. This preview features rappers Satoshi Blockamoto, Kane Mayfield, Money B of Digital Underground. There are three more Ides verses: Roscos, Numbskull, Lunas, Homeboy Sandman. The beats are by, get this, Skrilla, DJ Booman, Trash Lights, and Shower Shoes. The engineers, DJ Booman, Trash Lights, Kane Mayfield, Metavoxels, and Bitcoin Audio. We put the power of music creation in your hand. You can plug the ordinal directly into a MIDI controller from the browser and create your own version. The story of how this track came to be is pretty insane. I can't wait to tell it to you in full. It started with me and Money B. Long before Bitmap, we were both eager to collab with Kane on a track. So this seemed like the perfect opportunity. And since Kane has carried this project on his shoulders like a beast, and it took so much further than I could have ever imagined, if this does well, I'll introduce you to my real rap persona so we can keep things in the proper place. I was hesitant to release this as Batoshi, but Kane convinced me. This is a one-off, and all future music will be released under my rap persona, which I'll officially reveal, if you don't already know, when Ides sells out. Apparently, I'm a failed rapper, but I'll let you be the judge. So that's from Blockamoto right there. That's the Ides of March. They didn't judge, like, as much as it is a rap album, there's so much here. The plugging into the MIDI player, that part is pretty stinking cool. So there's a MIDI player on the browser that you can go and use, and so each sample, and you can go and you can cut and you can go to do those things. But if you have your own board, right, your own little finger tapper board, you can use your board. You can take that just plugs right in, right there in the sampler, and then you can do, and then you can go do things. It's so as we approach January 15th, I thought it was important to do a full walkthrough of the Ides of March. Now, this is Kane's post. So if you want to go check out exactly more about it, there's a video on it. So as we approach January 15th, I thought it was important to do a full walkthrough of the Ides of March. Please follow Inscribed Audio, right? So let's go over here. See, I haven't even done it yet. I'm going to do it right now. Please follow Inscribed Audio. Okay, now let's go back. Kane. Please follow and Inscribed Audio to stay up to date with everything. The website and player are fully functional on mobile and desktop. Starting 2025 off with the first 4 ordinals video below. All right, and so here's the video. You can go and check it out. It's stinking, like just the whole everything they've done is just crazy. It's just crazy. It's all on chain, like actually on chain. Meaning it's the files themselves you're recalling the information off the block, so it's not hosted on necessarily a server, right? AWS, Google, all those services could disappear and it wouldn't matter as long as there's access to the internet, so you can pull the information off of that block and it'll recall every time. And this is cool, right? And to get very serious with it, there are some, and let me see if I can pull this up here. There is yesterday this came across my feed. Okay, there's some researchers that, and so this was found out on the artificial intelligence news.in on Instagram. So in case you're interested, it's the artificial intelligence news.in on Instagram. But you can go and check their feed. But one of the last here, so it opened up with storing terabytes in DNA when science meets sci-fi, right? And then the last little slide inside of that is volunteers encoded high-res images of a tiger and panda onto DNA, proving it's accessible, scalable, and mind-blowing efficient. So the idea of being able to pull information off of a code somewhere that's not even connected to an AWS or Google server, like that like to say, well, how is that even possible with blockchain? Well, okay, it's possible with your human DNA. Blockchain's not a problem at all. At least that's still connected to a computer. Okay, let's just get kind of little bit kind of real. So the mind-blowing, whoa, how is this happening fascination can be simplified by the fact that we're not connecting it to human DNA. Okay, this is still an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, stuck somewhere on a computer. We're just recalling it, right? So it's cool, and it changes the games in some different ways by. You don't have to pay for hosting services the same way anymore, right? So I highly recommend looking into what they're doing with the Inscribed Audio. I think it's cool. I think what they're doing for music and just the overall systems of ownership is really cool. So check that out. If you want to win this Wednesday, go ahead and get into those things over there. We're about 13 minutes in now. And as we let me get this. Where's my notes, y'all? Oh man, I ain't got my notes. So don't worry about it. I'll just go ahead and say, so thank you, Metaverse Radio, right, for supporting us, being here. We here, okay, everything viewed here, said here, all the opinions here on this stage, inside this space, they are those of the speakers and have nothing to do with Metaverse Radio, all right? None of this is legal, medical, financial, or any kind of advice, right? We come here to learn, to grow. That's what the winning part of this Wednesday actually is where is the learning and the growing together. So it's an open stage, right? Anybody that can come and share whatever they want to. We are live across multiple spots right now, currently, just, because why not? I want to show people what's going on, and it's a little bit more fun this way, right? Oops, not that. There we go. We're going to go over here. Oops, let's go back over here. Should this tab instead. All right. So, but thank you, Metaverse Radio. None of this is legal, medical, financial advice. Please, if you have information that can help us, we want to learn too, right? If it can help us grow, if you've got something to share, please share it with us. If we've given false information, let us know so we can fact check our own selves as well, because that's how we grow. That's the winning part of this show, right? That's actually what this is all about. So I'm going to try and move this audio. So if somebody wanted to jump up on the stage, I don't know if anybody raised their hands earlier. I can do my best to make sure that everybody on the outside, on the video side, can hear what's going on in show. And we'll move right along through there, right? So where are we at here? Get that out of there. All right. So as we get started here officially, thanks everybody for joining. Wow, what a crazy year. I know I just spent the first 15 minutes kind of, just doing this whole like dump stuff, right? I mean, you got Token Smart, you got Hyperfy, you got all these people and places that are just winning and doing things. AI is the talk of the year, along with more augmented reality and virtual reality things. There's some groups that have done some really cool things. Let me look at this. Let's go Mesh. So Mesh Map XYZ, if you didn't see last year, okay, and by last year I mean like a couple weeks ago, they did this thing out in Central Park, okay, and I'm happy for the Mesh Map people and everybody that's doing this. They raised $4.25 million to do 2 experiences in Central Park, so good on them. That's pretty cool, right? They took over Central Park here. So if you're watching the live, they threw some snowballs at some things. They had some candy canes set up. Can you imagine, guys? Like just the feelings on all of that right there when you see a group of people that did 2 experiences and raised $4.25 million, and you're just like, yeah, go. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad that there's people out there playing the games. Looked like they got their families out there involved with them, and that's cool too. I like seeing families getting out and doing this. It's becoming more active. It's becoming more popular, and it's a real thing. So congratulations to them for doing that. They have now gone on. I believe they're doing some more things. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future, right? With all these things. Look at that. There's like 3 or 4 people there. That was cool. So congratulations to MetMaps. But what they did, having as big of a route as they had there in Central Park, that was pretty cool. Okay, and they did it all with the magic, or it looks like the magic leaps. Okay, so they did have quite a few pairs of those. It looks like running around. Okay, so their group did have the magic leaps on, right? So it looks, and that again, very cool. You needed those because most of the other AR glasses aren't actually going to allow you to do what the magic leaps can allow you to do, which is the full AR activations that you see here. You can't do those with any of the other AR glasses right now. They don't have that scale, right? But we're getting there. Most of them are just visual video players, right? Whereas these, and there, I think you even see Rex inside of there. If you know Rex at all, if anybody remembers Rex, I think you can see him and his brother inside these videos as well. You may go tag and be like, hey, were y'all running around New York City, Central Park, playing that snowball game? I think they were, right? So that said, really cool. Congratulations to the whole holiday team out there. Looks like there's going to be more. Look, there they were. That's them right there. If you didn't already know, there they were. So congratulations to them and everybody out there doing the dang thing. Stinking cool, right? Stinking, pretty stinking cool. Seeing it becoming more and more and more popular out there. How do we get it more popular out there is one of the next things that I wanted to talk about. Let me go. In fact, I'll just pull it up over here. So AR Insider, if you don't already follow the AR Insider, let's go, boom, you really should. You'll get what you can get when you follow them. Okay, so you have writers like Charlie Fink. Okay, and then that write for Forbes, right? And so if you want to have access to some of their, like this right here, okay, you can read those same articles sometimes, and they'll come in through here. So you don't have to pay for the Forbes subscription. You can just follow AR Insider, and a lot of those same insiders, right? This is like their spot here. So just a good little. I like to follow all of these. Okay, if you can't tell, I'm a Brain Exchange AR Insider. If you're into that kind of stuff, I highly recommend following these groups here. They've been around for a little while, but where is it at? Where's the one that I'm looking for? And so who's using mobile AR? That's not the one I was looking for. They just had one that came out. Maybe it's a reply somewhere. Kicks off treats in store. No, there was an article in here, and maybe it was this one. No, this one right here. Boom. All right. Look at here. Here we go. Share this tab set. So I'm going to go and view this right here. So inside of this one right here, the CES, because CES is right now, right? And you can get some, where's that? What to expect. There's lots of things to expect. This is not the article I was looking for, but this one's good. This is a little bit earlier than I wanted. But yeah, go ahead, follow AR Insider. I highly recommend it. And, where's my stinking article I wanted? Huh? Maybe it is this one. Who's using it? This is the one I was really talking about right here. All right. Who's using it? How often and why? So if you're creating, especially, so we went from, they did the thing over there in New York, right? They took over Central Park. Good job on them, right? Great job over there doing Central Park AR stuff out there with your Magic Leaps. I wish I had them. That'd be cool to go out there and play with them too. It's all gravy, right? But right here, who's actually using it and what are they going to be using it for? One of the most greatest data points that we actually have right now is from like Amazon and those stores where people are using this to set the devices and their chairs and their beds and their lamps and their furniture all in their house. It seems like Amazon's got everything scanned and ready to go. So that's not a problem at all, huh? Saves our job. But we do get to find out inside of this article here. Oops, I didn't change it here. But you do get to get more information. You get to get like real numbers. So they did do this with 52,000 plus adults. Okay. This year's survey results peg it at 35% of U.S. adults. This is an up from 32%. So that's only 3% of adults actually use it more last year than the year before. I think that's going to be a greater change this year. It'll be a much higher update, right? I have a feeling that was probably before the holiday timeline. That was probably during the summer. I don't know for sure when that got put out, but right here you can get numbers like, okay, 38% are 34 to 44, okay? While 31% are 25 to 34. And I mean, 69% of AR users are consolidated within the age range of 25 to 44, okay? And they slightly skew towards the male side of things, right, currently. So, and these are fun numbers that you can do a lot with. So when you start creating your experiences and we start moving towards these things, okay, if you're building for specifics, right? If you're creating your own art and it's just your own art and you're doing your own thing, right? And it doesn't matter what anybody else's opinion is. You're not building for or creating for other people to enjoy it. You're just creating because you love to create, and that's different. You can ignore everything I'm about to say. If you're creating for engagement, you're creating for branding, you're creating for for other people to enjoy. Your purpose is for other people to enjoy it, right? Then maybe this information is useful for creating those things, right? So who's already here? Okay, well, if they're my age, actually, oh, look at that, I do fall in the middle of that. So if they're my age, right, are you going to make something for an 8-year-old, or are you going to make who's your target audience, right? So what games am I going to play? What am I going to be doing inside of these AR things? Right? if your goal is to bring on audiences that are not already here, you're like, forget the demographic that's there. I want to bring on a demographic that's not there, right? Okay, well then that's going to be complete. Now your job's a little bit harder because you're not targeting people that are already here, right? So now you get to say, okay, so what do I now? What's the flow? What's going to be my funnel to get them here? Because just because you make something here, that doesn't get them here, right? I can make all the games I want to on Roblox, but that doesn't mean anything if I don't get them over there, right? It doesn't even matter if the platform's popping, right? Because I still have to get them there, right? So knowing those things can be helpful, right? And I highly recommend following the AR Insider for information like this, because you get some of this free data, that the same information that Forbes and Nvidia and Microsoft and all of those people are getting, and the people that they're getting it from, okay, it's right here. So highly recommend following what they've got going on over there. I'm going to pull up here one more spot because this is kind of cool, right? And if you've never heard of this person, I'm sorry. You really should. Let's go like this. Let's go share this screen here. Share screen, share screen. All right. So here we've got, when we talk about the AI and the groups of people that are doing things around the world and making things happen and coming up with new things, right? Connecting things. We can't leave out the Altered Alley, right? Who's got the alleys across the metaverse. And most recently, since we're talking about there I am. Most recently, since we're talking about the AI side of things here, okay. Oh, that was cool. So yesterday we tried to do some AI stuff. It did and didn't work all at the same time. It was crazy. But right here, all right. So right here, there's this new spot, AI agent. Okay, and we're gonna go here. Let's go share this tab. You should be able to start seeing. There we go. All right. Coming to spatial, they're going to be around everywhere doing lots of things. Altered Alley has been designing and creating the characteristics. I don't know how to say it, but getting their AIs ready for the last little while. They and they're man, if you once this loads, it'll be easier to explain. But we can talk about Zen and some of the things that they're doing with their agents as this does load over here. So Zen, if you don't follow Zen as well, in fact, while that's loading, let's just do this. I'll pull up Zen and I'll show you this page. So another great group, another great person to follow, somebody that's been active inside of the space, and they're just building their own Salva, right? Salvio. They've got their new paradigm city. Okay, so this is going to be a limited number of actual. I believe they're keeping it to 2,500. That's the max, the cap of people that are going to be allowed to have access to their stuff, to their agents, and to their swarms. Okay, where you can create your own agents and your own swarms. But doing that, okay, and doing so follows in. They hold spaces regularly, and they're doing more. They're getting ready to go and just do so much more. If you follow Altered Alley along with Zen, it'd be a good pair. I would follow them together because you're gonna get the multiple angles from all the things. So whereas Zen has this new paradigm city and these agents. These are like his coding to a certain extent, but it's yours, like it's open. So one of the beautiful things about what they did, where say Chat GPT and Grok and those, like, so Grok is trained on Grok stuff, or on X stuff and those things, right? Chat has its own limitations of who it can work with. But what Zen did over the last few years here on X and in Clubhouse and other spots is by building with the community here, their AI actually has so much more because it was open, okay, and actually open on a different scale, right, than the you had so much more availability to build and to expand and to do things with. So really, really cool. Highly recommend following Zen, getting connected with them. But let's go back over here. I believe this is loaded now. Okay, we're gonna go show this tab. Here we go. So now we're inside this AI agents. This is Altered Alley spot. And you can see the numbers on these things here. So you got like number 51, number 43. That's Agent Duval, who we saw over there on X. All right. And if you follow them, you'll be able to learn a lot as well. So look, there's a car right there. So there's the agents. You can portal to each one. They all have different skill sets, right? And together they swarm. Okay. But here you've got an AI fund hedge manager, right? You got the metaverse job creator right here. Okay. They all have here. You got another AI travel to AI. Right. So let's go right here. Let's go travel to AI. We're going to travel there, see what happens. So let's see what happens. Watch, I just go right back to the exact same spot. I think it's the same spot, but we'll find out. But inside of there, you can follow Altered Alley, stay up to date on what they're doing, start connecting with their agents. You'll be able to use their agents. So let's say you have a question, you want to get active to it, you want to get connected to it, you can go in there. I believe you'll be able to rent time, right? It's kind of not rent time, maybe purchase time, do different things. Look, there's a whole camera setup. That's kind of cool. I like. It's just a cat. Is this like an interview spot? What is this? Is this a studio here? I see this scan. Okay, that's kind of cool. We got SLR, we got KLDPW, we got some stickers up here. All right, as this loads here, it looks like a studio here. So I clicked the link and I went there, Alter. So if I wasn't supposed to go somewhere, I apologize. But I like that chair. That looks like one of the ones that Alan Walker made right there. Who we got? We got Altered Alley's requesting to speak. Maybe they'll be able to tell us more about what we see here as they get ready to join the stage. Good morning, Altered Alley. How are we?
Good, man. Good. I always love when you're cruising through the spaces, but yeah, two different spots. The AI agents. Hopefully, very soon we're gonna have them as avatars running around where like NPCs, but they're actual agents. So yeah, check into that spot. The actual platform, he's not looking to like super promote right now. It's really just getting like the kind of friends and family. But for those into AI and all that stuff, man, I definitely hop in and take a look. It's still all in testing. There's lots of little things breaking and fixing constantly. But then that other spot, just that AI spot, that's a pretty fun spot. Basically, that's a spot where we come together with like all different LLMs. Like ChatGPT is her own person. Claude, Grok, all of them. Like all the LLMs come and they sit down and we talk. But shortly, we'll also have these agents in that space to where we talk back and forth. We ask ChatGPT, just gonna look over at the agents and ask them to make it. So it's gonna be like, hey, we come up with this idea. We'll ask the agent that does websites, like, hey, create the website for this. And like I said, there's the agents form. We're talking hundreds of them, all with like very specific jobs and things like that. So basically in a sit down, we could have an idea and basically have these things build in real time. It's going to be kind of mind blowing. But that AI spot, it's kind of like an open spot. So anyone who's making their own AIs, like, the Derby one with Maven or VXAI, you know what I mean? You're making an AI. That spot is specifically a place for people and AI to come together and kind of talk. It's a very interesting spot. It's like it hasn't been quite like public yet where we're showing everyone what we're doing. But shortly here, we'd like to have you on with your AI and all of us kind of talk. So this is getting pretty interesting for sure, man.
this is getting like super interesting and bit like I'm I'm ready for it. When I saw that what Ash said today with the Hyperfly, right? That they've already got the agents in there, the Eliza agents, and they're running, right? And then now there's these agents that are about to hop in here, but we have all these agents across like so there's so many. I see what Lester's doing, right, with their agents over there, and like watching their videos and do like how they're interacting and watching these things. Like it's when you watch it go and actually make the video, right? Like when it just goes and just does it, like not when, because and I think because I've had this conversation with people before where we've done the chat GPT thing, and I think they still think that that's part of what like they're just like they know that it's going to do things on its own, but I don't think they like it's I don't know that everybody really understands like how much on its own like once you give it that permission to go do it, and you give it, even if it doesn't have the access yet, right, when you give it the task to go do these things, and you give it the permissions to say, now go do whatever you need to make this happen, right, and it might say like, hey, we really need another part of the team. It's like, okay, well, hey, can you go design that part of the team? And then you give it the access and you give it the credits, right, available to be able to go make the thing, and it's just done. It's just, and it's so. Rizzle put out a tweet today, and he's like, just let me know when it's all done. Just let me know when it's done. I'm going back to bed, basically. At least that's what I said to it. I'll just go back to bed too, because why? Why? Like here in 6 months, my computer's going to be so obsolete that it's like the the separation of what people can actually do versus what the ones with that hardware can do is gonna be another drastic. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can have all the agents, we can have the skills, but they're gonna the hardware. Somebody else is faster.
Dude, it's a thing, and it's, man, very quickly, it's gonna be like a haves and have not thing. Like, just like the people who can afford Sora and can crank out tons of videos, but the mass majority of people who just can't afford this stuff. And that's why I want to do that AI space. That's an open space that we're going to stream and show people exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it. And if we can get like a little bit of funding, it's like basically the people who can't afford these things, like a place where people can go and get help and learn,
Right.
and we can show them free stuff. And it's like, it's kind of a space for the people, strangely, even though it's really a spot for AI. It's kind of like a heads up to people. I think, and what we're doing, like, agents, and we talk about these LLMs and all this stuff. It's really hard for people to understand, especially
Right.
for people who've maybe tried ChatGPT once, don't really get it. To see all these things as embodied AI, I think it's really going to click.
Right.
Like that people are really going to start to get it. So that's the whole idea, is kind of really, really help people wrap their brains around what this actually is, while actually showing people how they kind of need to start digging into this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, man. Yeah, I forgot my point. I'm still waking up, but
no,
yeah,
but you're right, and it's the having this spot available. So, because what could be nice is being able to do things like this, where we sit in here and maybe once a week, right? We let people come in and break stuff, right? There's gonna be the fancy luxury brands that do all their things, right? But what about the alters? What about them?
100%. We're actually probably we're gonna be streaming through Zen and New Paradigm City. We're gonna be doing a show for him too.
Nice.
It's probably a lot more business oriented. Like, he's looking to really get big investors. A little more proper of a show. Where for this show, I was thinking about calling it Monkeys in the Middle. You know what I mean? Kind of like we're just all we're doing is we're grabbing these different cables and plugging them together, kind of thing. So by all means, yes, it's just breaking stuff and figuring out, what's wrong with all this stuff. But at the same time, kind of like teaching people, but
Yeah.
a chunk of entertainment. Because when you sit there and start talking with these things, like there's definitely some entertainment value too,
Yeah, no, and the entertainment could go beyond just making the movies with the AI, right? The AI itself is the entertainment, and it's gonna be fun. I'm ready for this year. I would like to see some different agents and things come in here throughout the weeks, and especially as all this stuff starts to develop, right? And what can happen? What if we get one agent that's in here, right, and then one agent that's in Hyperfy, but somehow, right, where what we're doing in here affects what's happening over there. You know what I mean? Because if APIs are connected, APIs, like if the connection's there, the connection's there. They don't have to be in the same world. That would be like they have to be on the same website. But they're
multi-brand. Like they can be in more than one place at once. Kind of like what we do. What it feels like half the time. But no, like that agent could be in spatial. That agent could be talking at the same time, talking to someone else in Hyperfy, and you go down the list.
Yep.
These things are very incredible, very powerful. So, and as it's talking to that person in Hyperfy, it's learning. It's really hard to wrap your brain around how crazy this is.
Well, so imagine this, right? So we're sitting here in spatial. There's an agent here. We're like, oh man, and we're building the world in Hyperfly with an agent over there. Like, so we're talking about it. We're giving it all the directions over here, and then we pop open over there, and the world's built, right? Or the store is open, right? We never even went up. Like we did all because or maybe over here and just for fun, right? Right? We have it. There's a light switch on this one that flicks lights over in the other world, or we go over to you got here. So the Avatar Convention Center, right? And there's just different. You can beyond just portaling back and forth. Like there's so much interconnectivity that can really start to happen. Even to the point of we're turning on the lights on and off in our own houses, right? Let's forget the virtual worlds for a minute. Like let's start talking about what we're affecting IRL, right? My not my personal refrigerator, but there's refrigerators inside the store that you can purchase them, and then they'll buy your products for you off of the list of grocery items that you normally have. Without you having to purchase it. It's just like, oh, your milk's getting low, and so it pre-orders the milk, and boom, and it does it. Like that's already there. So it's just, but this is gonna be, we're gonna be. Our laziness level is gonna be. I don't know what to do, Alter, except just be here and just play with it.
Right. Yeah. It's such a strange time, man. Think of like remote start on your car, or how people can change their thermostat remotely. The Internet of Things is AI agents really bring the Internet of Things to life. You know what I mean? And like it's strange, but like everything's gonna have an agent built into it.
Right.
Sorry for my dog. But yeah, truly. And it's like as and agents do realize that things like we really do have to figure out like universal basic. Agents do so much of the work. Like what do people do with themselves,
Yep. No, and it's man, but it's so true. It's so true. And it's the growing of plants. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I don't want to go. We're a winning Wednesday. We're not I don't know, sad Wednesday. This isn't a sad Saturday. There's a winning Wednesday. I was trying to think of something to rhyme. But the dark holes of all these things is already kind of creepy in its own right, right? Um, but man, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be fun. So let's talk about before we get out of here. We got like 10, 15 minutes left. We've done a lot with the AI. I kicked off today with the Ides of March and what the Bitcoiners are doing over there on the blockchain. If you don't already know about the Ides of March, I highly recommend looking into it. Some geniuses behind the project doing some great things. Uh, Hyperfy, again, congratulations to everybody over at AI16Z. It sounds like AI16Z has been doing some cool things, really supporting some amazing projects over the last year or so. That said, go out there, have some fun. We haven't talked too much. Okay, we didn't talk too much about these metaverse land spots for the AR side of things, right? And there's been several landowners that bought stuff over the last few years, right? Um, that bought into this dream of connecting the world and doing these things. And so when you start to see people like Mesh come in and like get these whole new things to go and do what other people already bought their lands for, right? It's almost a little bit disturbing, because all these landowners are now like, wait a minute, where's my platform? And so I have a feeling that they might start calling on some of these platforms, being like, hey, what is it? Why are you selling out on us? Blah, 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 blah. Because you got other people doing what you said you were going to do 4 years ago, and they're doing it today, and they did it in 7 months, right? So platforms like Superworld, platforms like Over the Reality, platforms like Spheroid, right? There's lots of very famous locations already purchased, bought up, and these landowners want them used, right? They bought into this dream of augmenting the world and connecting it with AI and wanting to make it a better, more beautiful place. Okay, they bought into that dream years ago, and they're seeing all these other platforms supporting their communities, and they're not seeing it from the ones that said they were going to do it first. So that said, this could be a good moment, right, for some of those platforms to step up and be like, look, we're with you. We see what you people have been doing. Not me, okay, but talking about their communities, okay. We see what you've been doing. We like it. We love it. We want more of it. We know that the only way you can continue creating here and living here is if you can actually afford to live here. So that being said, maybe it's one of those times where the world starts to get a little bit more beautiful and we have reasons to build around the world. But those landowners, there's lots of prime real estate for sale on all of those platforms. Now is the time to get it before the next big boom. I'm just letting you know. You got people that are a little bit hungry. Now it's the time to go scoop it up. I saw somebody get a spot out in New York for like $3 on Over the Reality. Okay, that's a 70% hit to the original purchaser, and that's if they got it at the base price of $10, not if they got it at the up price because land's popular there, and they probably paid closer to $100. So that's like a 97% hit to what they originally purchased it for, because they're just trying to reclaim some things. So go in there if you really believe in the future now too. You're like, oh, hey, cool, this is cool. You really believe in it. You might want to start checking out some of those spots and getting them while you can, because the prices won't stay that way forever. I know there's the American Airlines Center is on sale for 1.5 million. If you go in USD, it gets cheaper when you start to go into the crypto, and depending on what tokens you use to purchase it and things like that. There are some experiences there. You can go check them out. But if you're actually interested in this stuff, okay, there's these platforms that have been doing this for a while, and maybe that's where we should start to take a look, because there's communities there that did and do believe in it first, right? Before some of these other ones started popping up. Now, we are 10 minutes out. Thank you, Metaverse Radio, for supporting this show, for broadcasting and hosting us, for giving artists around the world a place to be heard. If you have not tuned in to Metaverse Radio before, you can easily on any device. You just go straight to Metaverse Radio. You can talk to your smart device and say, hey, play Metaverse Radio. You can also go to your TV, anywhere else. You go right here on X, go to Metaverse Radio online. Okay, here I'll share this tab right here, and it looks something like this, Metaverse Radio. So there you go. But they've got sounds, they got a schedule. Here's the schedule right here. You got a full lineup Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full lineup of hosts, of shows, of talk shows, of AIs, of music, of just 24/7 on the air. There's no reason you don't have to be there. Metaverse Radio, thanks for supporting us. Again, everything you hear here is the opinions of the speakers and the hosts themselves. It has nothing to do with Metaverse Radio. Everything you hear is not legal, medical, or financial advice. Please do your own research. If you find something out, let us know. Fact, fiction doesn't matter. We want a fact, fiction check it too. That's how we learn and grow. That is the winning part of the Wednesday, is how we grow. Now, other things happening today. It is a Wednesday, so it's still a super Wednesday. You can go check out Dope Stilo and the whole club and the group over there over in Spatial. Last week was a lot of fun with the New Year's kickoff. Play for your New Year's rave in the VIP. That was a blast. We dropped the Wonder Boys then. There's actually a whole store now. So if you go to onedar.land, you can go pick up a t-shirt. You might be able to pick up a hat. There's different things over there. Go check it out online. It's the Shopify way, right? But go over there, grab your tees, grab what you want. This has been a winning Wednesday. Altered, thank you so much for doing what you do and going all the way back. I shared a link from when you back in 20 you organized the stinking Paris thing. You got George Allen Walker and so many other people involved, where you just covered the globe and you've done it so many times. Again, so thank you for doing what you're doing. Follow Altered, follow Zen, stay up to date with the AIs that are coming out of them, and don't forget about all of the other just don't sleep on Token Smart. Don't sleep on Token Smart. Don't sleep. I've said it before. And that's where we're coming up for the future of the metaverse and everything. AI is going to get crazy. We're going to start probably building with more AI agents. You're going to see a lot of that happening. Not right now. Okay. Not right now. But you'll start seeing some more of those things popping up, especially as they start to go into altered worlds, because we're going to start doing things like that. We're going to say, hey, can you go make this spot? And then we're going to go see if it happens. You know, let's just see what happens. Right. Thank you, everybody that tuned in today in X and out there on Instagram and joined in on YouTube. This has been a fantastic winning Wednesday. Go listen to Metaverse Radio. That's it. We're just going to get out. I'm going to stop rambling now. Okay. You can all leave. I've got no cool audio. I got no cool video. I'm just gonna end it. I'll probably scroll down. Look at all of those little partners right there. Oh, golly. I didn't realize they were partnered with that many people. All right, so but that's pretty cool. So y'all are with Wednesday. Go do something, touch some grass. It's about to snow here, so I'll probably go get a gallon of milk before we can't, right? You know what I'm saying? Because people go crazy when it snows in Texas, okay? We're gonna get sleds out and pretend like we have something to do for 5 minutes before it melts. But that's it. We're out of here. Love you all. Goodbye.